Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brief presentation on Take 5 Consulting and some of the services we provide for the mortgage industry. So today we'll cover some work we've done on the front end, some work we've done with product development, all the way from wireframing to execution, Encompass LOS implementation, web services in terms of our front end work, also lead generation, and finally the Take 5 business model. So our expertise is in looking at the mortgage business from the technology perspective. We've worked with originations, we've worked with on the secondary side, we've worked with partner services, we've worked on multiple servicing projects. But for today's presentation, we'll focus primarily on the origination side and some of the work we've done both on the web front, on the LOS implementation side, and also some of the products we've developed on the front end. So the origination side, we're beginning to see the upfront application process mirror what's happening in the online dating world, which is the application process has gotten shorter and shorter. A tremendous amount of research and neuroscience has been applied into determining what type of application process works, and those results have been applied in the user interfaces of the companies that dominate the online dating world. So financial services and mortgage companies that are quickly able to adapt and integrate the latest research and findings while designing their front-end platforms will be able to leverage the psychology that drives decision-making in this domain. If you take a look at one of the UI interfaces we recently designed, it serves basically to reduce the amount of clicks. So rather than folks having to click a drop down that then gives them the option of refinance purchase, we rather just make it a button. So go on, I want a single family home. Okay, it's a single family home. I want to refinance. Here's the ability to enter your information. If you've already logged into one of the social media sites, that's probably going to autofill through your social media login. So it's a minimally invasive process to try to capture as much information from a user in a world where the user is not willing to give much information. In a world that's driven a lot by social platforms, we want to give the user the ability to not just sign in to your platform using their social login, but upon login, very easily be able to share the information that you provide or a product that you provide with their peers. Peer-based product selection and advice and review is what's driving the marketplace of tomorrow. And you want to make sure that you provide your customer base with such an option. A relatively straightforward UI with the ability to log in to the information portal on the back end. So this is a predictive monitoring screen that gives business owners or managers the ability to see exactly what's happening in their pipeline. Rather than pulling reports at the end of the day, this would actively keep tabs of what's happening, why is their pipeline getting clogged. And in this case, for example, we know there's an issue with funding as there are more tasks and files assigned, as it kind of has a red blinking spot there. So we develop products for the mortgage space, specialized products, not just in terms of the technology that goes behind the products, but also a lot of the upfront ideation, visualization, wireframing, sitting down with a client on a consultative approach to actually visualize what the end product needs to look like. So in the upcoming screens, you'll see our process all the way from initial drawings to wireframings to some of the screens that we've actually developed. Here's our skill set when it comes to Take 5 as a company, but specifically to our UI work. You'll see we use a lot of HTML5, CSS. It's a rich, interactive, and responsive UI design. Most of it is non-linear workflow capabilities on the UI layer. We have heavy emphasis on visualization techniques, as you'll see, and a lot of the software that we develop is smartphone and tablet-ready UI design. Here's an example of a client wanting to work with us to develop a product, and what the business need was to bring the entire mortgage transaction onto one platform, along with all its participants. From a technology standpoint, this needed to be multidimensional, multi-tenant, with managed API capabilities such as provisioning and metering, and a seamless integration with third-party vendors using a robust integration platform or exchange. So from the wireframing process, we actually moved into the designing the UI and the product for them. So this is the front UI, the dashboard, where the homeowner has the ability to see his past servicing history, the properties that he currently holds in his portfolio, the various folks that participated in the transaction, from a real estate agent to an escrow officer, and also currently what was happening with the property in terms of how it was trending compared to the last year, whether it's gone up in equity, and the various other providers over here as well. They also wanted the ability for other folks such as credit card providers to be able to advertise. So this also served as an advertising engine. It's a stipulation-based engine which generated extremely parallelized, nonlinear mini workflows and routes them to an appropriate system or a human processor for completion. So here's an example of a customer portal that gives a borrower information about his or her loan, also a progress bar that tells them where the loan stands. It's kind of a non-linear workflow. It's easily configurable and customizable, and we use a robust BPM workflow tool. It's also tightly coupled document management system to specific activities in the workflow. And such a workflow actually empowers the borrower to be engaged in the loan processing lifecycle, and they can get in touch with their lender either using their website, email, text, or within the application itself. An internal user interface screen that basically provides the user with information such as what's happening in their queue, outstanding conditions, what docs yet to be received. So these are examples of the type of work that can be done. Custom-built TPO portal that provides the brokers to upload to their pipeline and also run product and pricing from right within the TPO portal. One of our strong points as a company is LOS implementation, understanding the mortgage workflow from start to finish, all the way from lead capturing to lead nurturing, understanding the process between a loan officer and how the file moves along each milestone, all the way to funding, and then on the secondary side. Doing end-to-end retail implementations of an LOS is our bread and butter. That's how we function as a company. That's our core strength. And over the last 8 years, we've done quite a few successful implementations, and we would like to do the same for you if that's possible. Amongst the first things that we do upon being chosen as an implementation partner is to sit down with the stakeholders to completely understand the business process flow for each type of loan and for the company as a whole. We then map out this business process flow, how loans flow from department to department and what happens at each stage. Once the process has been mapped out, only then do we move forward with any software development or implementation. This step of the process in terms of gathering business requirements upfront reduces the need for too many changes down the road, as that can turn out to be extremely expensive. So once your core LOS system has been configured and developed using your in-house workflows and milestones, we could then move on to develop on top of that platform, develop your analytics platform, develop your mobile platform. If you need to change business processes, we could definitely work with that, and or link to your additional external systems that you use for other purposes, such as accounting, or for if you have your secondary servicing loans, we could then link using APIs link to those platforms as well. We have a tremendous amount of experience as far as LOS implementation goes. Over the years, we've developed thousands of business rules that can be deployed at a moment's notice. We take a more consultative type of approach and provide your team with best practices to be able to maintain a healthy and efficient platform. We could also kind of provide your team with enhancements to the platform, such as predictive analytics, better business intelligence, third-party integrations. But you could use that for better marketing or lead targeting, customized originations, and lead scoring and targeting as well. So over the years of implementing front-end platforms, CRMs and such, we've have an extensive list of what front-end platform, for example, works with what LOS, what are the data points? Is this integration going to be seamless? So we have research for front-end platforms, CRMs, reporting engines, and pricing engines. Recently, we did an implementation where the CRM did not sync with the LOS throughout the loan lifecycle. So if there was a sync only up front and when the loan funded. So all along in between, as the loan moved from milestone to milestone, effective marketing could not be sent out from the CRM because it was not, the data points didn't match up. So to avoid such expensive mistakes up front, we could provide you with information to help you make those decisions. Here's an example of a comparison between Roostify, Promantech, Blend, and Cloudburger. And we have more information for some of the other ancillary services as well. And now to talk about what every company out there is trying to do, which is generate their own leads so that they can basically lower their cost of acquisition. For most folks nowadays, the search for things begins and ends online, and it most likely begins on a mobile device. So it's kind of imperative that companies have an in-depth understanding of the mediums on which these searches are taking place and be not just present but also attractive on these mediums so that they can be approached by a prospective client. So let's take a look at Take 5 Consulting as an example. So we are SEO optimized to basically pop up on the first page of Google, and usually we are the first listing for the services and products that we provide. Like what you see above here in this portion right here and here, these are ads. You'll see a small marker here saying ads. But below that, what do we see are organic listings, and they basically occupy the prime real estate of Google. So what you see down here, so the first website is Take 5 for Encompass 360 Consulting, or Encompass 360 Consulting and Implementation. What you'll see is we're the first two. So we occupy prime real estate because we are SEO optimized, and this is something that we can do for you as well, so that you can be on the first page of Google and you can generate your own leads. So we have the ability to design, publish, and optimize each of your landing pages across multiple devices that eventually flow right into your main lead generation engine. And we could also generate that from a mobile platform, from a tablet, but it all comes into one Affinity portal from where it then goes on into your marketing CRM or your lead generation engine. We have a pretty agile engagement model, and we'll work really closely with your team to assure the projects get delivered successfully and on time. And we only bring on folks that have a deep understanding of both mortgage and technology and have that as their background. As some of the team is offshore and a portion of the team onshore, you will have a workforce that's building your company 24/7. We do have certain accelerators that can bring solutions to the market pretty quickly, which is our classic Infinity framework. And for the technology folks out there, they can probably appreciate that a lot of these, the rules engines and the business rules and some of the milestone rules are already pre-built and kind of very easy for us to deploy. We thank you for your time, and we hope to bring in our expertise to the table and help your organization grow and get to the next level. Thanks. Bye.